Folks, Newark Mayor Ras Baraka has filed a lawsuit against Lena Haba. She, of course, is the Trump U.S. attorney in New Jersey because over the issue of him being arrested of course, outside of an ICE detention center. She made all sort of different claims, and he said, oh, really? This is how you want to roll? Gotcha. All right, I'm hitting you with a lawsuit. He says it was peaceful, lawful visit with him and members of Congress. Charges were dropped. He's still filing a lawsuit. Of course, Baraka is also running for Democratic nomination for governor of New Jersey. She joins us right now. Mayor Baraka, glad to have you on the show. First and foremost, why are you filing this lawsuit?
One, I just think they shouldn't have the ability to get away with what they did. They put it out that they dismissed the case so that we can move on. But they dismissed the case because they were wrong. They had no charges. My arrest was unlawful. They had no jurisdiction to arrest me whatsoever. And honestly, I think somebody passed the word down to them to come out of that facility and arrest me on the sidewalk to do anyway. And they took those orders and went ahead with it. And they were wrong and should be held accountable for it.
And obviously, she made all sorts of comments about you when it came to this particular arrest. And then later, of course, they dropped the charges.
Right. They said that, I broke the law. I wasn't above the law. Some of them are still saying that, actually. We may have to extend the lawsuit to include other people, saying that we bust into place. We kicked our way in, slammed ICE agents, all kinds of fabrication. Even with videos present, they should have known that the video would tell the truth, and it did.
Well, we are talking about the Trump folks, and so it's not like telling the truth is something they are very good at. They are actually excellent at lying repeatedly, and we see this all the time. And one of the things that I keep saying is when you're dealing with a bully, you got to punch a bully back. You can't negotiate with them. You can't capitulate. You've got to make it clear that you're going to fight them as hard as they try to fight you.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we're doing. Like they think they can just do this and walk away. They fingerprinted me twice. Took a picture, took my mug shots twice, did it in the jail, and then at the courthouse, they humiliated me again, dragged me in the basement to do it twice for a Class C misdemeanor charge that I could have got a blue summons for. $500 fine is the max of that. There's no such thing as federal trespassing. Trespassing is a state charge. These guys did whatever they could to humiliate me, so now I'm going to sue them for it. And they keep saying over and over again in the press and the media things that just didn't happen.
Let's talk about, so you got that going on, but let's talk about your run for governor of New Jersey. You got the primary coming up real soon. Main reason why you want to be the leader of the state?
The primary is actually Tuesday, June 10th. But, I think that ultimately New Jersey, being one of the most wealthy states in the nation, also one of the most segregated, the deep inequities that exist here. African-American women die 7 times more in the hospital giving birth. Our children die 3 times more for the age of 1. The wealth gap under Democrats just doubled from $300,000 to $600,000 in this state. They spend less than 1% of the state's procurement dollars on Black, brown, and women-owned businesses here in the state of New Jersey. Between Newark, where I live, and Livingston, which is 8 miles apart, there's a 14-year life expectancy difference. New Jersey has very serious problems, deep-seated problems around equity that we need to solve, right? We have been carrying other people's water, electing them, and everybody has a plan for everything except the most marginalized, except working-class families of all nationalities, and particularly Black and brown families as well. And I think that needs to be at the forefront of this. And ultimately, I think our economy remains stagnant until we include a whole bunch of people that have been left out and marginalized. And we need to bring them into it and create a universal economy that has a pathway for us all. And I don't think nobody else can do that. I don't think it's on their mind. I don't think they see us, honestly. And our campaign sees all of the folks in New Jersey, for sure. And we're going to create policy that helps everybody in New Jersey, every family.
One of the issues that I covered 2 or 3 years ago dealt with a lawsuit by a black private equity company against New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy. It dealt with access to pension funds, things along those lines. And one of the things that is important that people don't understand is that when you talk about how do you expand opportunities, the reality is pension funds are the greatest source of money that venture capitalists go after. And black private equity is locked out. Then when you talk about a lot of these deals out here, you don't have black law firms, black accounting firms. You don't have African Americans getting contracts. So when you look at the number of African Americans in New Jersey, these public workers and even the taxpayers, are you seeing real equity on the state level when it comes to African Americans being able to access these state contracts?
Absolutely not. That's what I just alluded to. They did a disparity study that showed less than 1% of the state dollars go to black businesses, brown businesses, women businesses. Deplorable. And the counties get worse and worse the farther you go down. We actually in Newark, in the last 3 or 4 years, gave $200 million to black, brown, and women businesses, which is more than the entire county of Essex did. I mean, this is pretty bad in New Jersey. And you're right, I'm very aware of the lawsuit and the pension funds. It's interesting that Goldman Sachs has had governors, have had at least 3 governors in the state in modern times who handle some of our pension funds. At the end of the day, we need a public bank, not a commercial bank, but an investment bank. We need, these kind of black, investment firms to be able to manage our pension funds, begin to put that money in the places we need it and invest in black and brown communities and economically distressed communities, the communities that are not necessarily black and brown, but have been historically and economically neglected because of the poverty line there. But we have to invest in these communities, and we need to be in control of our own funds to be able to do that.
You know, I did a story the other day talking about how the Trump folks want to get rid of the federal DBE program. That's $37 billion that goes to minority businesses and white women. And I say white women because the W is not women, it's white women. And I was texting someone about that, and a sister said to me, she said, well, who are these black businesses? I said, y'all need to understand something. I said, last year on the federal level, $10 billion went to black-owned businesses. It was less than 2%. I said, but it was still a record $10 billion. I said, y'all need to understand something. I said, when y'all are just saying this stuff, y'all don't realize those black-owned businesses, a lot of them, most of them employ black people. They're employing black vice presidents, black directors, they're paying black staffers, receptionists, assistants, accountants, law firms. I'm like, so when black-owned businesses don't have access to city contracts, county contracts, school board, school district contracts, state contracts, federal contracts, all of this talk about let's grow black businesses. I say, look, everybody can't have a black-owned T-shirt company, okay? There are actual businesses, and there are services that New Jersey and other states, they are spending billions of dollars every year of taxpayer money, and we're not getting a return on the investment.
That's absolutely correct, Roland. Absolutely, positively correct. Whether you talk about construction contracts or, infrastructure contracts, paper contracts, technology contracts, all kinds of stuff, business services, professional services, all of those things are going to everybody but us. And so we absolutely need to be engaged and involved in that wholeheartedly. And if you take all of the cities, all of the counties, and then the state together and kind of add up all of the money that's being spent and invested in businesses and what we're losing and what we're leaving on the table, it's tremendous. And like you said, a lot of public workers are black and brown whose pension funds are responsible for paying for a lot of this stuff as well.
Absolutely. And so I think people need to understand what happens when you do have black leadership. When David Patterson became governor after Elliot Spitzer resigned, one of the first things that he did was make massive changes to contracting, and you saw a significant benefit immediately for Black-owned businesses. And I just don't think we can just underestimate what happens when you have a Black governor who's in charge, who can say, no, we're doing this. We're not asking, we're doing.
Absolutely. And New Jersey has one of the strongest governors in the country in terms of what we're able to do. Most of the positions are appointed, from judges to every department, to boards and commissions, to the attorney general, to everyone, which means we have an awesome amount of authority to make sure we diversify what government looks like, what government has its hands on, and not just at the top levels, but all the way down in the bureaucracy of government as well. We can make sure that it clearly resembles the state that is diverse, and it's a good way to push back against what Donald Trump is doing nationally, to do in New Jersey what these people are afraid to do, and be successful at it.
You're in the final stages. You're about to do, I think, what? You headed to phone banking or block walking, canvassing, canvassing right now. What is your closing message, closing argument with less than a week before Election Day?
Yeah, that's why I'm in the car. I'm knocking, jumped in, going back out to knock again. I mean, obviously, I think that we are in a moral moment in this country, and I know a lot of people are afraid, but fear makes you make safe decisions, not the right one. And I think it's time for us to make the right decision. We know in our gut here in New Jersey what we need to do in terms of challenging inequity, in terms of lowering the costs, in terms of making housing affordable in the state, and challenging the healthcare companies and the insurance companies and the hospitals. We know what to do to make childcare affordable, to make sure transportation is in our community, that gets us the opportunity to jobs, to the marketplace, that we need a governor that sees all of us, and people know what my record is, and they don't have to guess on it. They're clear about what we have done, and so they should know what we're going to do. They also know that we're not weak, we're not moderate. We will defend this state against the overreach of Donald Trump, not just by words, but also by actions. We're gonna protect our residents here in this state, and we're going to build an economy that's universal, that all of us can be a part of at the same time, and stop giving super tax credits to the super rich in this state, and make sure we take care of working families here across all nationalities. So if you want to do something bold, something big, something different, then you would vote Ras Baraka. If you want to do the same old thing, get the same old results, you go for all of them. And I've been saying there's only two people running for governor, me and all those other guys. So I implore you to do the right thing and come on out on 10th and make history in New Jersey, the first African-American governor the state has ever seen.
All right, then. Well, we've got one Black governor in the United States, Westmore in Maryland. Would be nice to have another one. And of course, they both will be alpha. So let's make that happen, New Jersey. Mayor Baraka, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.